Hello, it's Suzy at Bonsai Druid. I have my pomegranate tree here today, and it's got some pretty good growth on it. Some of these long extensions need trimming. So we're going to get started on that. Hopefully I have enough light for this project. This tree doesn't have a very good front really from anywhere, but this would probably be the front. Or potentially that. But I think I'm going to start at the bottom. Anywhere where it's really long. It's already started to grow from here. New leaves, if I don't cut them off, come back. Oh, they're too soft for those type of cutters. This right here, I will take that to here. Oops. Just to get like an idea of where things are with all the leaves on, it gets hard to tell. This branch right here, let's see. This is all one branch. I just trimmed this side, working my way. Willing to leave some of these leaves on here. I still want a lot of energy to go to this tree. Let's just kind of lifting up to look and see what is under here. I think I'm going to take off this because it's too tall. As I take it off, I want to take a look down here and make sure there's not any bugs or anything that I should discover before. These are stuck together. Yep, there's some kind of little critter living in there. That's out. This is where I'll keep them for the moment. So, a little off this end. These things have gone a little crazy over here. This is way too long. I'm going to trim it back to this cluster. There's nothing on there. I'm going to take this piece on the top of this branch off. Let's see. Okay. That's a little more back in size. I'm going to move up to think I'm going to move up to this branch here. It's got a set of branches here. This crazy one growing up here. And one growing directly above another one here at the very end. So first things first, I'm going to take this off. I don't think I want that at all. Let's see. If it's in good shape, maybe for a cutting. Now, this one's growing back into the tree, so that goes. There's a little tiny one right here. A little tiny beginning of something there. Be nice if it was under here. This branch is growing on top of this other branch, so I need one or the other. This one actually has, even though it comes up a little, it actually seems to have a little nicer taper to it than what's down here. Either it would be that or that. I think I'm going to go with the one on top in this case. I can bring that down as I want to. Kind of twist it a little bit. We'll leave that one for the moment. This one I'm just going to cut back. Get in there. Right here, I just have two kind of elongating things happening. The upper one, Can I twist that? Either way, I think I might have to take this off. This one, shorten it back to, I'm going to shorten it back to this. Here. Let's see. These branches are kind of growing. This one's going to come off because it's growing straight up. And I can't tell the rest of the shape with that sticking up like that. Can't see the negative space. I need to be able to see the negative space as well as the positive space. This right here is a shoot over here on one fork, but it's an inner shoot, and this is an inner shoot, spraying these two branches a little closer together than they probably should be. So I'm going to remove the middle one. I don't know if you can see that. So now one goes this way. There's a couple of leaves down here, and then one goes that way. For the moment, I'm leaving that. Then we work our way out to these ends. So if I follow this one back into here, where it's wired, this one is shorter and more in scale, and this one is shorter and more in scale. So I think I'm just going to remove this one. I've already got a branch up here, and this tapers to a very fine point. This one here, the lower one, is nice. Don't know if I want that upper one right now. Say no. So this is just here. It's probably sacrificial, but because it's butted back that far down, I have to decide what I'm going to do with that branch. This is a long whip. Not crazy long, but it's coming back from here, and there's a spot here where new leaves have already started. And we're probably making a natural fork. So I'm going to cut it for there. This one, for now I'm cutting it here. It may get cut further back once I look at the rest of the leaves here. That's got us here. Here is one growing straight up. That's got to go. It's too far out on the end of the tree to be doing that. Then we have this one, which I just trimmed this little end here. This, I think I would take it back. This one's got like this old leaf here that's growing in the crotch of this new growth. Take that off. Don't need it. Whatever's rolled up in there I don't need either. And then under this one is this one over here. So we're going to take this off, because it's got to open up there. Or remove one or the other of these. Let's see, I think I can leave it for the moment. Come around over here. I've got another some of these sloppy older leaves. Some damaged leaves. Then we move to this end. This is growing up too high up here. For right now, I can't have that. Like another piece growing up that I don't want at this time. And I would shorten this. This here I may let grow because it's lower. And this one here is higher. But right now it kind of hides this ugly thing right here. So I'm not ready to take that off yet, but I think this is going to be the keeper, giving some dimension to the back side of that branch. So we've done these, this. No, we still have to do part of that one. So up here, it's easier to see from this side. Like this up here, too straight. Hold on. Let me rethink that for a moment. Up on the end of this stump, we have too much going on. So we're going to take these off. Not sure if you can see that. It's this one and this one. So all of this is on this one stump that I have trimmed. It's all growing straight up. And straight up out of the top of the branch. So something's got to go. And I'm going to say this one first. It's the thickest. And it's definitely not going to be part of the design. This one too is also growing up. So this one comes off this side. This one could go off that side. And we'll trim it. To these sideways. These branches will be easier to turn sideways. Right here. This one back here is not going to do anything good. Now, I'm not even sure that I'm keeping all three of these trunks. This one probably, this one I don't know, maybe not. This one I do. I would like to get another tree branch this size over here. Instead I have this big one. So I have to decide when I'm going to maybe cut that off. But this tree is recovering from a bunch of cuts that I have made, so just wanted to give it more time. This one back here, I could leave that for a moment because if it helps to back bud down a little further, it's actually skinnier right here than it is up here. So I'm going to hold off doing anything else with that. Yeah. This has a little bit growing out of there. I'm okay with that. These tall bits up here got to go. I'm going to take them down to this bracket here for now. And this one, I'm going to take two. Can't see it. There's another fork here. here. These two are long and whippy. They're growing out of a nice small branch out here. And that's too big, so that's got to go. And that gets us around to here. And this one again is got an old leaf. Down here we have this one going off this way. Or it could be, if I wired it that way. This one has two at the end here. I think I would take this one that's going upright. I'm going to take that one off. Doesn't need it. That shape, that direction. And then this side of this one has two leaves there. And then nothing else happening to here. This is the whole branch. I brought this down. I'm going to take this off at this junction here, because I can make further decisions about it down the road. And then up here, another long one that's growing just down in general. Take that off to there. There's 1, 2, 3 things growing out of that spot. This branch, this one, this one back here. I think I'm going to take this little twig here. It's growing too much back in towards the center. This I'm going to take to there. That leaves me with this one. It's got a long stalk going up, or well, actually going back into the tree. Let's see. It's that. And it comes out of here. Very difficult to know what to do with that. I think it's harder to figure out how this is going to eventually have a canopy and what to leave for the interior that's going to be needed if it's going to have a canopy. Trim this off here. It goes there. This is up here, and that. This is up here. Let me go back to this. I have a back branch. too much of this branch crosses back to the tree. Take it off there. Uh-oh. Let go. Still kind of grows back on the back side of this branch. I assume with this little branch, that might be the rear of the back side of my tree. Somewhere in this range will eventually be the front. Maybe. Once again, this branch I like the size of. This branch is a little thicker. This branch is, to my mind, too thick to be up this high unless it's the main trunk. I can't have that the main trunk. It's just going off the wrong direction. But I don't think I want to cut it off just yet because, like I said, this tree's still healing. This comes up, up, up. This isn't really the place that I would want a branch. So, at some point, I made a chop and let this live here. Not sure where I expect that to go. I think I'm gonna trim that way back. This bit off the top. You can see it. Got a big haircut. I'm definitely going to take some of these cuttings and see if I can get them to grow roots. Some of these leaves are damaged. And there's some bunched up ones too, I'm sure, where old leaves didn't drop. And there's just like it happens with this pomegranate that sometimes the leaves can get kind of grouped together real tight. They grow in this fashion. And they don't always drop the older leaves like that. And this up here. So yeah, it'll be a long time bringing this tree into a really good shape, but I've had a relationship with this tree for a very long time, so it's worth the work to try to fix this old tree, especially because it's definitely got this old trunk. It's a nice good size. And yeah, I grew that trunk up from a skinny little something where the trunk was about that size when I first got this tree. This trunk down here was like that. It's come a long way. It certainly has had bigger canopies in the past, but it outgrew those shapes. I got to start anew. I need to get better primary branches so I can create a better canopy. So that's all for my pomegranate tree. Probably until later in the season. It's almost back to where I started, but I had better, in the early spring, but now I had better selections for new branches. You'll get there. Thanks for watching, and come back and see us again here at Bonsai Druid.